Hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed that replay video come out recently around this time. I am going to show off and actually have a breakdown of my currently competitive the Swordsoul deck. Also, two other versions of it. One which doesn't have any Tenyi cards because the Tenyi cards can break and have other problems, which I'll get over and actually go over them. And another version which is just me dumping all the stuff I like into one deck and yeah, but mainly this video is just going to be about this deck, this version with a brief overview of the other two, which just ones that have 10 cards to make it a bit more consistent as a Sword Soul deck, but not as consistent. Right word. It doesn't have the bricky 10 cards. Well, not. Anyway, I'll go over them in a second. To do this, we play we play three Tenyi Spirit Ashuna, one Vishuda, two Sword Soul, two Auspicious Beast, one Dasher, three Tactician, two Tyr, three Marie, one Celestial, Destiny of Celestial, three Tears of Vegetation White, three Ash Blossom, two Hadra, one Into the Future, three Pot of Desires, three Fusion Destiny, three Sword Soul Dragon Sword Appears, the Monster Reborn one, Infinite Permanence two, the Sudden Shift, and an extra deck is one Monk of Tenny, Verde Anaconda, the two Yang Zing Synchros, level 8 Synchro Sword Soul, Mega Berserker Savage, Senshin, and the other good level 2 level 10 Synchros, Baroness, and Interdivision Target, and Phoenix Forcer, the main point where we're playing the whole Destiny era stuff. Side deck, you can see, I'll go over that in a moment, while I'll explain everything else. Okay, so first off though, this is pretty much the core of this deck is just a Sword Soul deck. Sword Soul, you've probably seen them enough times in the channel by now, or also all over the place. Worms, like synchros, tokens, cool stuff. Yes, this deck is mainly just first part of the core of the deck is Sword Soul. To do this, we play. To do this, we just go with summon Moyi, Tyr, go into the synchros. Very simple stuff. If you know how Sword Soul works, not much to explain here. Really, there's not actually. Sword Soul by themselves are very simple. Each card, one of these is just a one card. Summon them using their method. Then you can go into a synchro. Very easy. Use Ecclesia to get, and usually either Tyr or Moyi from your deck. Sometimes Chunyun if you need level 6 on the field. That's usually better than going into Tactician because he requires a disc. He only gets his free token by discarding him. And yeah, so the Soul Soul cards you run free of basically every Soul Soul except for Tyr and Shunyun. I would play free Tyr if I had space, but I can't really cut anything else. Without cutting in the other engines I want to play. And I played two of the Chunyun because he's useful. That's why. Look, he can help you dodge negation stuff like that for certain cards. aka, if your Mogi gets imperm, you can tribute the Mogi while its effect goes off, and now go into still summons the token, but you have level 6 and level 4 level 6 and level 4 instead. And it is on also being able to destroy a monster that's for free by attacking it. It's nice. And yeah, being level 6 makes going to level 10s easier, and we have a good range of level 10s. Actually, it's also good for some having him on field, summoning level 1 from deck and going into Yazzie, so adjusting level for that. Finally, that's the Sword Soul package. We play free of the Searcher because it's the Searcher, and one of the Monster Reborn because it's useful for combo extending, mainly for bringing back Tyard and banishing it to go to level 9s, 7s. Next, we have my small Tenyi package, 3 Ashuna, 1 Vishuda, and 2 Hadra. The whole, if you, for instance, before this, how this engine works is basically you need one copy of Ashuna and one copy of either Vishuda and Hadra or Hadra. In your hand, I just run this ratio, probably not the best ratio, but I like this ratio. Um, this is the part about the deck which you can cut and do something else for. This is how I like to play the deck. Um, probably guess it's not the most consistent combo. It's basically if you have if you have the combo, it gets you. It can pretty much do your whole combo for you. It's like it's 2 cards, gets you into your level 8 synchro, gets you. Basically, these two, Shuna and Eva Data, can get you level 10 synchro and a level 8 synchro. That's by doing a combo. Yeah. They can brick, which is annoying, However, I find them just useful enough that I like playing them. Look, a Hadra is just need if you need to get some cards back into your hand for this card fodder. For shooter, surprisingly useful now and again because if you summon the token before you synchro, gets to return a card from your hand. And sometimes just using the shooter's effect to get to level 1 for level 7 synchro play, or just putting shooter on the field for help for the OTK is useful. Um, Finally, the other besides the hand traps part of the Zazcat, we play in the Destiny Hero Fusion Destiny engine. You probably have heard about this to death at this point in time. Fusion Destiny based in summons Phoenix of Force, so people call the new Dragoon, blah 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 blah. Look, nowhere personally saying nowhere near as good as Dragoon, but I actually feel like I don't feel like an arsehole for summoning it compared to Dragoon. But it's fine. It's a very good card that is can be dealt with very easily. But the reason why we personally like this card a lot in this deck is that it destroys itself and an opponent's card. The reason why that is good is because Ecclesia adds itself back to your hand during the end phase if a fusion monster is going to the grave that turn. And what do you know? This guy goes to the grave every single turn. So you just keep getting your Cleases back, which can go to any other Zenyan card. Swordsoul card, man. Having the name, other names on the images is annoying sometimes. Oh, but yeah, that pretty much explains that part of the deck. Next is the side, which, there was supposed to be a third Nibiru here. Let me get that in there. I'm pretty sure I cut one forbidden and did that. Boom. Save. Um, Look, the side, it just, you stand inside to play free draw, free Nibiru, spell trap removal, and forbidden droplet. The interesting parts here, we have Shaman of Tenyi Spirit, Shamarasa, whatever, Mare, and Dire Swordsoul. Talk about the Mare and number 3 first. These is where I want to go into do some fancy stuff. Just putting Shaman in lets me extend my it gets me to do a different Tenyi combo line, and I can just go bam, bam, bam. Let me do some different stuff. It's useful. I don't want to play in my main though because it's not that useful. It helps, but it's okay, and it helps me do some different Tenny combos. But yeah, be very careful because it also locks you into only some Tenny on the extra deck. So use it at the end of your combo. And then we have Sharas. I can never say this name. Sharasara, whatever. It's just a good card to have. Makes your monsters non-targetable for attacks or effects, which is very nice. Yes, you do need to control a non-effect monster, which he can do by himself. But yeah, and in Mare, you play it with Charles. Actually making him easy. You need to use makes, but also it being able to summon free tokens actually makes going into synchro plays very easily. As you probably guess, that's would make sense. So yeah, it helps. He can get just summoning him gets tokens. You can, if you have a certain right numbers on the board, it helps you go into level 10s or 9s, whatever what you need. And yeah, then one of the Iris Sword Cells. Some people absolutely hate this card. Some people are like, eh. Some people think it's okay. I like this card. If I had room, I would play one copy in my main deck. I currently don't have room in this version of the deck, so I play in the side. It's a hand trap that you know that you're only need to play one copy of. It is searchable. You just add it to your hand. If you don't know what this card does, it basically can summon itself as a card. If there's a monster card. If there's if there's a monster on the field effects negated, you can summon it. So you can use level 8 negated effect. And when you summon it, if it's on the field, the next time your opponent special summons a monster from either the hand, deck, or extra deck, has an effect based on where they summon it from. From the deck, you can draw 2 cards. From the hand, you can summon one from your own hand. Or extra deck, you can destroy that extra deck monster. Usually, you aim for the deck or extra deck one, which you can do pretty easily. Just sometimes it's good to destroy the extra deck monster because they just summoned. Yeah. Finally, I'll go over the extra deck and why we play each card in there. First off, Tenny, Monk of the Tenny. We play it because they do our Tenny combo line because you need to summon the link away, make non-effect monster in your field. Verte, if we ever need to use Fusion Destiny in a certain way. Yazzie, because it's level 7, and I want to have at least one level 7 go into. It's good, can't be targeted, but mainly you use it to just pop itself in a card your opponent controls, then we get summon any worm from our deck, which lets you do more combos. Sometimes if you have a brick hand, but you can somehow go into Yazzie, you can then go into Taya and do other actual good synchro plays. There's also this, just like I said, just a useful card. Braxia, its removal gets rid of 2 cards if you use any 2 monsters that are not the same attribute, which base means don't use Moyi, because all the tokens are water. And also helps you extend your combos because you can destroy Monk if you and revive another card from grave. Yeah, like I said, uh, Chazao, now, oh, I said that. Oh, I said that. I butchered that. The level 8 Synchro, very useful. Helps you, doing your combos to get more extenders. Also, it's negation for your opponent's turn. Overall, extremely good card. Finally, there is next we have Omega. It's just Omega. It's just a good card to go into. Drakenberg Circle Tenyi. Helps for the OTK. It does banish monsters and after their effects, but I mainly use it for going for the OTK sometimes. Sometimes I can't go level 10, so it's go to level 8. Beats over one monster, gains its attack, beats over the next monster. That's a lot of damage usually. A Savage is just a good card. This is the one synchro which probably be cut first in the synchro list anyway. Why? It's harder to get a link in the grave. Very simple. If you do get a link in the grave, go into Savage. If you don't have any links in the grave, there's other options. Shenshin just kills some decks. Having all the cards go from field to banish, it really hurts some people. Any other recycling some of your stuff is also nice. Finally, level 10s. The new one, it's useful. I will say that. It's definitely the worst level 10, but it is good into. Okay, look, it's good for helping you extend. It is so fun to use this. Summon the level 8. So fun to use summon this. Summon level 8 using Moyi. You draw in 2 cards and search one. That is so fun. And its other 2 effects of being a banished monster summon is very useful. Doesn't negate summon, but you know what? Sometimes just banishing that guy still really hurts. It also banishes a spell, which is really only good for continuous spells and traps. It also does help though, because some spells and traps have effects in the grave. Sometimes just banish and get deal with the whole problem. Baroness, it's an Omni negate, very good. Also, it pops cards. I keep forgetting that. Okay, that's the problem I have. I keep forgetting that it just pops cards. I've lost games. I could have won so easily. Like, oh yeah, Baroness, pop your guy. But overall, very good card. It also recycles itself. It's on the field long enough. Uh, the grants, the Duke, the Swordsoul Duke man, helps with the OTK as well. Cause look, all your guy gaining 100 attack and all your opponent's guys losing 100 gets good very fast. Even if it's just like 400. If it's just 400, you can now get over basically anything your opponent has. Most monsters aren't going over 3k. And if they're up 3k, you're up 34, they're at 26. Easy. And if you're going for 30k, if he's part of his eyes at least once, he's gained 1,000, everyone else has lost 1,000. Besides that, he has protection. Great, protection is very good. And it has the additional effect that anything's banished, it banishes a card from their field and grave, which pops off when, use protection effect. Usually you want something else which can help proc its effect, but it's good. The Magic Key Beast, it is an instant fusion target. Why? 2 reasons. Helps go into level the synchros. Sometimes we can't get a token on board, or we use the token's effect, summon effects. We just summon this to level 8, and sometimes we can use it to summon Verde. That has happened. And finally, Phoenix Forster. I already talked about this. It's fun though. Summon Phoenix Forster and Grand Duke because he I think loses 400 attack for this, and I think attack for this. That's fun. And that's pretty much everything. I haven't mentioned yet is just the other cards in our deck. I will play the instant fusion for the beast. The Pot of Desire, that's my draw card of choice. Because I like it, and I don't like the other one. I like the other ones, but this book's best in that deck in my opinion. If you invest for infinite permanence, for my other option. Also, Ash Blossom goes to them. And we play 2 of the Sudden Shift. I would like to play 3, but I could have room in this deck list. And now that's the deck list done. I'll quickly go over the other 2. First off, we will have my the non-Tenny version. Again, this is I've basically fixed every ratio which I didn't like before. Everything's at 3 now. So it's just at 3. I do play 1 copy of Iris in this deck, which you can get rid of if you don't like Iris. Very simple. Side deck, standard side deck. Yeah. I also have a bit more room in the extra deck, so I play Sigma, because Sigma also helps with the decay, and it's funny. Um, Very simple. If you want to know how you summon it, you summon any 2 of the Tenyi monsters and get a token revealed. Um, yeah. Let's see, and finally, here's my 44 card list, because I didn't want to cut anything. Ish. So yeah, I've placed these increase some numbers. Um, yeah. I might put this down to 2. This is like experimental. It's just me just having fun, honestly. Don't worry about it too much. I suggest if you want to try the deck, try out either this version or the non-Tenny version, depending on your preference. If you're playing the Tenny version, just be careful. This locks you into only summoning worms, and this locks you only into summoning Destiny heroes for the rest of the turn after their effects are resolved. I want to say thank you for this. This is my first time actually making a full video breaking down one of my decks. Because I actually like this is my competitive-ish deck. I'm not sure how good competitively. I think it's decent. Look, I'm not the best at judging how something competitive something is. I'm really not. But I like this list. Yeah. Also, other little tips. This what tips, but interesting stuff. Yeah, that, and either that's combo. You can banish this. Sometimes instead of searching the card, you can just banish this instead to get a token reveal to either tribute for this or go into level 10. Sometimes if you're a really bad situation, you can summon this, banish this, summon a token, tribute over itself with Tenyi in hand and go level 10 that way. Interesting stuff you can do. Basically this card and having Tyr in the graveyard basically means Reborn Tyr and then go into any level 7 to 9 synchro because you can then banish its discard to increase or decrease the level. And yeah, that's some interesting stuff that you can do. Thank you for watching, everybody. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. Take care and enjoy your life. Have fun doing what you like. Take care. Bye. Still bad at intros. See you next time. Bye.